Hi, and welcome to one of many broadcasts by the Florida Aviation Network. I'm Ron Timmermans, one of the many hosts for the Florida Aviation Network, and we're broadcasting today live and in the clear from the Central Florida Aerospace Academy during the 51st Aerospace Expo and Sun and Fun Fly-In. Lakeland, Florida. What a great place to be, and I'm delighted to be here today, and I'm delighted that you're joining us for this. So I don't know if you're going to make it to the Sun and Fun event this year or not. I hope you make it later in the week if you can. If not, you're going to see and hear about things that are happening here through the Florida Aviation Network. So stay tuned to our YouTube channel. Joining me today is someone who really makes a difference at Central Florida, Mr. Justin LaFerriere. Justin, thank you for joining us today.
Of course.
Justin is the Senior Visitor Services Manager with the Visit Central Florida organization. Yeah. So a big, long, lots of words in that title.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the organization for whom you work.
Sure.
And the like.
So Visit Central Florida is the destination marketing organization for Polk County, Florida, essentially. So it's our job to, very simply, put heads in beds and make cash registers ring. That's our mission. As we're solely funded by the tourist development tax, which is a 5% tax levied on all short-term accommodations within the county. So if we don't do our job and do it well by putting heads in beds, we don't operate. We're not funded. So we've got to hopefully promote the county as a viable destination for leisure travelers, groups, meetings, conventions, special events like Sun and Fun.
Good. So not everyone probably understands what heads in beds means. So if I'm hearing you correctly, heads in beds would be a tourist at a hotel here or at a short-term rental here in Central Florida. And then also, as they spend money, they're ringing up cash registers and bringing revenue to the county and the entities that you service. So
100%.
Central Florida, in my mind, has a certain geographic territory, but your company called Central Florida Tourism is actually limited to Polk County.
That's correct.
But that isn't real small, is it?
No, not by any means, no. So we use Central Florida as a geographic locator, just like you said, because when we're out of market promoting the county as a destination, nobody sees county lines. Nobody understands, if you say Polk County, Florida, where that is. So we use Central Florida to kind of zero in people's mind on the map, so to speak. But to your point, Ron, that could be anywhere from Daytona Beach all the way down the I-4 corridor to St. Pete Clearwater Beach on the West Coast. But Polk County, we then, of course, narrow it in from there to Polk County. But as you mentioned, 2,000 square miles, 17 municipalities to promote, all as a destination. And we're non-membership based, so we don't play favorites. We got to promote all 2,000 square miles equally, and there's a lot to see and do out there. So it's a fun job. Yeah,
I'm sure it is. So give me an idea of some of the things that tourists can take advantage of within Polk County.
Sure. Well, we just wrapped up the 89th season of Detroit Tigers spring training here. It's they spring train right here in Lakeland. It's the longest standing relationship between a Major League Baseball franchise and their spring training home. And they are under contract that relationship will last well past 100 years.
Good. I've been to some of the preseason games there. That's very enjoyable. Take a bus ride from my home in Orlando to Lakeland and see the game.
It's fantastic.
I've been known to have some adult beverage, and that made the trip home on the bus
There's nothing better than baseball, beer, and a hot dog.
Exactly,
right?
exactly. I did partake in that.
But outside of that, obviously, Legoland Florida Resort, our largest attraction. It's one of, I believe, 7 Legoland theme parks in the entire world, only 3 in the country. So that's one of 3 within the U.S. Bach Tower Gardens is a massive 60-bell Carillon Tower that stands within about 200 acres of botanical gardens over in Lake Wales, where the Carillonneur will play live when he's in residence. We'll play live at 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. We're home to the largest single-site collection of Frank Lloyd Wright architecture in the world at Florida Southern College, my alma mater. Go Mocs. But he designed 18 buildings for that campus. They have 13 constructed on site there. So it's really cool. If you're a fan of architecture, it's a beautiful campus to see.
And I am. My degree's in architecture, and Frank Lloyd Wright was one of my heroes. So I appreciate what you have here and other places I've visited is architecture.
Outside of that, we've got a ton of nature parks. Circle B Bar Reserve is a fantastic free nature reserve to go witness wildlife in its natural habitat. 555 lakes in this county now. There used to be 554, but we recently dug a new water ski championship lake at our Lake Myrtle Sports Complex in Auburndale, so we had to up the number to 555.
Wow. So let me talk just for a moment about the 555 lakes now. So obviously water sports and activities for people, but for pilots, what would that mean?
Yeah. Hopefully they've got pontoons on the plane, otherwise they're avoiding water.
Yeah, that's right. But there's some of them are amphib, meaning they can land in water or land on land. But
correct.
So pilots can fly their seaplanes here, or
absolutely,
amphibian planes
absolutely.
Here?
We've got great actual seaplane bases. John Brown Seaplane Airplane Base, at the Winter Haven Airport is a fantastic seaplane base. But Winter Haven is known for the Channel Lakes. There's 28 interconnected lakes by canals, so there's plenty of water opportunity. If you're a pilot of an amphibious aircraft, you've got a great opportunity to put it in water here.
So Winter Haven in Polk County is one of the many winter cities in Florida. Winter Springs, Winter Garden, but Winter Haven is the one here. And that's the one where many of my friends from North Country come down here in the winter and go to Jack Brown Seaplane Base to get their seaplane rating.
Correct.
Normally they can do that, in a weekend or the better part of a week, and come down here, get some initial training, then fly for a check ride right there at the seaplane base, and go home spouting their travails as a certified seaplane pilot.
There
so that's a lot of fun. So that's one of the things that you can do at the lakes, and then
of course,
and safety is always of a concern for everyone in Florida Aviation Network, and so that is an opportunity to get good training with safety habits that you will take along with you. But back to Central Florida tourism.
Sure.
So anything new happening of late?
So the biggest announcement lately was actually out of Legoland Florida Resort. They recently announced roughly a $45 million investment into the park, where in 2026 they're planning to unveil the very first indoor roller coaster in Legoland history.
Whoa, indoor roller coaster.
Yeah. So there's our neighboring theme parks have some indoor roller coasters, but it'll be the first in Legoland history. They're doing another one in Legoland, California as well. So between the two, about a $90 million investment into the Legoland parks.
Wow, that's a big infusion of capital, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's
they've
good.
They've been open now for almost 14 years there in Winter Haven. The park opened in October of 2011 on the site of the old Cypress Gardens, where water show skiing was invented. But Cypress Gardens are still there. You could still go witness those botanical gardens, but they said from the outset that they are going to make Winter Haven a destination within the theme park industry, and they're literally putting their money where their mouth is.
Excellent. So more than 10 years in operation, and how many visitors come to Legoland a year, do you think?
Millions.
Millions,
Well over.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And I know there's other opportunities for entertainment throughout Central Florida, even beyond Polk County, but do you get overflow, or people that come here and then also go to the other theme parks and the like? Yeah,
we actually, at our flagship Welcome Center in Davenport that I manage, my team and I run, I should say, we sell discounted attraction tickets for many of the local Central Florida attractions, not just within Polk County, but those outside of the county as well, because we'd be remiss to think that those individuals that are hopefully putting their heads in our beds may want to go play at the Mouse's house one day as well. So we give them the opportunity to buy a discounted
There's other cash
ticket.
registers to ring other than just those in Polk County.
Well, come buy that ticket from us, and then you can go play, but come back and stay with us.
So, Justin, if I were living, say, in Massachusetts or Michigan or somewhere in the north cold country, and I wanted to get to Central Florida here, Polk County, and within your realm, I guess I could drive for hours on end, or are there any other options to get here?
Funnily, thank you for mentioning that, Ron. Velo Airlines recently launched commercial air service at Lakeland International Airport, right across the flight line here from Sun and Fun. June 13th of last year in 2024 was their first flight, the inaugural flight out of New Haven, Connecticut. Now they're in 7 destinations. By June 12th, they'll be back up to 8 destinations here within the eastern United States. Nashville's the furthest west they currently fly to, but on June 12th, they just announced recently, they will be extending service to Grand Rapids, Michigan, and to Long Island, Islip, and New York. So,
wow. So my friends in New York City and my friends in Michigan can come here on an airline, nonstop.
Nonstop.
Velo Airlines.
Yeah. Yeah, it's ultra. If those viewers hopefully know about it, but it's an ultra low cost carrier. So very reasonably priced flights, and then of course if you wanted to sit closer to the front, you got to pay a little extra.
That's the way it is in most airlines now, isn't it?
So
pay for baggage.
You got to pay for some things on top of your flight, but the flight itself is at a very reasonable cost.
But the other major point here is availability. They can come directly here to Lakeland and participate in the convenience of coming here and participating in all the tourist activities and things that they can do right here in Polk County. And then if they want, they can get a rent car and go to some of the other.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah.
Either direction on I-4.
You got it. Yeah. I mean the whole experience whether departing or inbound at Lakeland, you're talking maybe 20, 30 minutes tops.
Yeah.
From walking through the front door to walking out the door or onto the plane, whichever direction you're headed.
Excellent. And so, so if I fly into Lakeland, I can obviously go to Legoland, but what other tourist opportunities do I have as a tourist coming into Lakeland? Into
Lakeland itself, Florida Southern College, the Frank Lloyd Wright architecture is here. Safari Wilderness Ranch is a big African-style safari.
Drive-through?
You can drive. They have their own trek vehicle, off-road vehicle. You could do a camel safari. They have an opportunity to do a kayak safari as well. So there's a lot of different opportunity there to see over 400 species of animals and insects and all kinds of stuff out there. It's really cool. You wouldn't think you could get that opportunity here in Polk County, but it's just on the north side of Lakeland. So
interesting.
Very cool to go see. And of course, always never a shortage of aviation. The Florida Air Museum is right here on the grounds of the Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo. It's open year-round. You can come see some of the abundant history of the aviation industry within the state of Florida and the industry as a whole. And then, of course, Fantasy of Flight out in Polk City is still open a few days a week. They've kind of scaled back a little bit, but they're still there. They're still operating. So there's a cool opportunity to see that as well.
Good.
So a lot of, never a shortage of things to do, for sure.
And so for our aviator friends, if you choose not to fly in by Velo Airlines, which would be pretty convenient, you can also come in with your own airplane and land here at Lakeland Airport or at Winter Haven or at Bartow or several other airports around. Lake Wales you had mentioned and the like. So I've had the pleasure of landing at many of these airports, and so it's a great opportunity. And go to the ball game, as you mentioned. I guess that's over now. The season has started, so you don't have any preseason games anymore. But those are always fun things to do. So lots of things to do here in Central Florida for families, for adults only, whatever. And I see we got some video footage of a balloon launch.
Hot air balloons.
That's always exciting as well. And I've actually been on a balloon ride. Have you done a couple of those?
I've had the opportunity. Just to go up, not to actually take the ride, but just to go up and come straight back down.
Good.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, well, that's good. So how about people that are driving in? So you mentioned something by Davenport that you and your folks staff. What is that called again?
It's the Central Florida Welcome Center. It's our flagship welcome center. It's at I-4 and 27, just south of the interstate in Davenport. Open 7 days a week, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. But it's the best place to start your experience within Polk County because we have local experts, obviously, there, staff in the building every day throughout the week. We have fresh squeezed Florida orange juice there on site.
How could you go wrong?
It's kind of that old nostalgic feel, right? It's a rite of passage when you come on vacation in the state of Florida. You expect to get a little sample of Florida sunshine. So stop on by, grab a fresh squeezed Florida orange juice sample. That's out of Ridge Island Groves, which is a local grove here in Haines City. The only place you can buy that orange juice is there on site at the grove. So it is literally from the tree processed to the bottle. No pasteurization, no preservatives. It is literally fresh squeezed.
All right.
But we are also home to the only water ski museum and Hall of Fame in the entire country. So.
Tell me a little bit about that.
So, as I mentioned earlier, Cypress Gardens is the home to show skiing in the country, but we have branded ourselves the capital of water skiing, the water ski capital of the world, excuse me. For that reason, really, show skiing is started here at Cypress Gardens back in the 1930s with Dick Pope at Cypress Gardens, but most of those individuals you talked about in the cold country that still ski up in Wisconsin, when they can't ski and when it is cold up there, they can only come south. They come here to continue to ski throughout the year. So
Excellent.
We have no shortage of opportunity with 555 lakes to get on the water and water ski. So entered into a partnership with the Water Ski Foundation and put their museum and Hall of Fame at our Welcome Center for that reason.
Oh, it's right at the Welcome Center?
It is at the Welcome Center. It is free of charge to come see, but it has got the best of the best in the sport of water skiing and wake sports, and those individuals that have been inducted into the Hall of Fame, and a lot of memorabilia.
Wonderful,
Yeah,
wonderful.
very
And that's
cool.
at exit number
55.
55.
Off the interstate.
Highway 27 off of I-4.
You got it.
Okay, so that's a good opportunity. You can go to the Welcome Center, get free orange juice, and
Yep.
go see the museum all
got
in
it.
one stop.
And
And then Legoland is not far away either.
22 miles from there. Yeah,
Okay.
22 miles from there. But we've also got the Welcome Center on site here.
Okay, so I want to hear about that. So the one we talked about is actually northeast of here.
Correct.
Near the edge of Polk County, I imagine, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's
you
7
catch
miles.
people-
7 miles west of Disney.
Okay.
So we did that on purpose, obviously, right? To kind of pull those individuals
Understood.
that are
Understood.
wanting to go play at the Mouse's house, and it gives us the opportunity to push them deeper and make those cash registers ring.
Good, good. Well, I can certainly understand why you're focused on that. That makes good sense. So here on the Sun and Fun campus,
Yep.
you have another welcome center. So
We do.
people that are coming to Sun and Fun, whether they're flying in or driving in, they can learn more about Polk County tourism opportunities by going to the welcome center here. Where would I find it on the Sun and Fun campus?
Yeah, so we're right at the corner of Tom Mack and Laird Boulevard, just across from Hangar A.
Just across from Hangar A. So a lot of people probably won't
They won't know the street names.
Won't know the
but-
street names, that's true, but you'll know, or you'll ask, how do I get to the hangars A, B, C, and D,
Yep.
so that I can look at all the new products and things that are available.
Yep.
Right near Hangar A is where you'll find the Welcome Center.
Yeah, we're a blue building with a white roof, says Local Information Center.
How could you miss that? How
But
could
come
you
see
miss
us. We've got fresh squeezed Florida orange juice
that?
here.
You do,
for
so
the
you
week.
brought some in from
We
the
brought
other
it
Welcome
here.
Center. That's
We
good.
brought it here. We've got a great partnership as well with the local coffee roaster. Haven Coffee Roasters is at our building as well. So come get some fresh local coffee. It is fantastic. It's literally the best in the world. They've won the Golden Bean World Series internationally. And they went to Australia and won this competition as literally the best coffee roaster in the world.
Man, there are a lot of attributes to this
Yeah.
county. It's just amazing how important the things that you do and the opportunities you have for tourists here. And I don't want to miss the emphasis for pilots that are flying in here. Again, Lakeland and several other airports around, you can get rent cars and go places. I imagine there's Uber available for
Absolutely.
those that just
Absolutely.
need to make short trips and the like. And
Yep.
how about restaurants?
Yeah, no shortage of culinary scene, especially here in Lakeland, but all throughout the county as well. We've actually undertaken a very large culinary initiative as a destination organization to promote those restaurants. And you're seeing a picture here of Harborside in Winter Haven, which is one of the best locations in the county to eat on the water.
I would agree. I've eaten there and enjoyed the
Their
view.
fried grouper sandwich is pretty good.
Indeed.
But there's some great local options here in Lakeland as well. Brand new restaurant at Lakeland International Airport as well, Sora Eatery, which was a startup out of Catapult. It's kind of an incubator that helps small business. But they've expanded, and we're able to move into that space at Lakeland International Airport.
In the terminal building?
In the
Second
terminal
floor,
building.
Second
And
floor?
they've been doing very well there since Avelo's come in.
Great.
There's no shortage of passengers coming in and out on every day. So
What's the name of that restaurant again?
Sora
Sora.
Eatery. It's kind of a Asian fusion type restaurant, but they do offer some American style fare as well for breakfast options for those early morning flights.
Great. So Florida pilots, or pilots that are in and around Florida, I know we're always looking for a place to go for what used to be called the $100 hamburger. And many folks now call it the $200 or $300 hamburger because cost of aviation has gone up. But
Sure.
this is now another destination that you can go to with a good restaurant on site.
Absolutely.
And for a while it was closed, but it's back open again, so that's good to know. There are other places. Winter Haven has a restaurant at the airport, and Bartow does as
Yep.
well. I think they're
Yes,
open.
they do. Yeah.
So there's lots of places to pilots that can go and tickle their culinary fantasies.
Winter Haven actually, interestingly enough, has a Michelin star chef. Not at that restaurant. There's a restaurant in Winter Haven called Nutwood.
Nutwood.
Stephen Rojas is the executive chef there. He is a Michelin star chef.
Good. And I imagine you have plenty of those beds that you're trying to put heads
Yeah.
in. There's Hotels and motels galore around here.
Yeah, about 9,000 rooms in this county, with about 1,000 more still to come online in the next couple of years. So,
wow.
yeah.
That's a big increase. So you must be expecting a big influx of tourism.
We're doing pretty well. This year we're about 14% up over last year. So tourism is not slowing down, which is good for us.
That is good for you, good for the community, and good for aviators. So,
That's
Justin LaFerriere, thank you so much for joining me today in this interview. We've learned a lot about Central Florida tourism, particularly Polk County, the many opportunities that you have, transportation to get here, either commercial or private planes. Fly safely on your way to Lakeland. I'm Ron Timmermans with the Florida Aviation Network. Thanks for joining us today, and stay tuned. There are many more interviews to follow this one.